Good day, thinkers, thought leaders, progressives, and dreamers. I'm Craig the Writer Stewart, and this is So Much to Say YouTube TV. These are my thoughts in my voice on black shit, white shit, gay shit, and everything in between. So Much to Say YouTube TV is the place that you come to learn and grow because we discuss socially relevant things mixed with a splash of humor. If you know you have tissue paper feelings, this probably isn't the channel for you. But and however, since you're here, I just need for you to do two things. Hit the like button, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and turn on that little bell so that you get the notification every single time that I go live or upload something new. I'll see you soon. Bye. So what?
Telling my HCTV skills now.
Don't be saying too much. We live. Where's the light in here? I should have brought that ring light in here. Good day, thinkers, thought leaders, progressives, and dreamers. I'm Craig the Writer Stewart, and this is the Facebook.
And I'm Carlton Lee.
This is the Facebook.
I'm back.
And YouTube live versions of So Much to Say. These are my thoughts in my voice on black shit, white shit, gay shit, and everything in between. We are in the garage. We're in the garage. We're in the garage. So Carlton is getting ready for an event. So these are all the flowers. That's what this stuff is. Yeah. So what is this called when you put the flower? Oh, so there's some more flowers down here. What's it called when you got the flower? Processing. Mm-hmm. He's processing these flowers so that they'll be full bloom by Friday. What is it, Friday? Mm-hmm. So they'll be in full bloom by Friday. But yeah, so listen, before we get started though, before we start talking, I want to go through some evening announcements. We got some church announcements that we need to make. There were several of you whose debit or credit cards were declined on the Patreon. There were several of you whose credit or debit cards were rejected or declined over on the Patreon. So we're gonna need you to go over to the to see the usher in the back and take care of your faulty credit or debit cards, okay? When the church is trying to collect, when the church is trying to collect, we need you to have your funds available. Rita, we know you probably misappropriated your money for cigarettes. Rita probably used her money for cigarettes. Mantra says she got her receipt. I don't want to have. Hold on. Can I see that? Where that paper? I got a list of those of you whose credit cards were declined. Let me get this piece of paper. Hold on. I don't have my paper out here. No, I'm just kidding. I don't really have a list. I wouldn't do that. But no, some of your cards were declined. Ushers, get your gloves. We're gonna need you to go ahead and tap these people on their shoulders and get that money. No, I wouldn't read it. I wouldn't do that. I would never do that. Bacardi said I paid annually. But no, I hope those of you enjoyed the Patreon that we posted from Carlton's surprise birthday party, surprise boat party. I wanted to tell you guys, I really, really did. I wanted to tell my people on Patreon, because on Patreon, we talk about stuff that we don't talk about out here, you know, in the social media world. You know, we get a little more honest over there.
He said y'all talk too much.
Yeah, but see, I decided I wouldn't go ahead and post it because I didn't want anybody to tip him off that I had a surprise up my sleeve. He told one of our friends, he told our friend Lindsay that he felt like I had something up my sleeve, but I quickly rejected that thought and had him thinking that there was nothing happening. But at any rate, so the party was really, really nice. I appreciate you that those of you that support the Patreon and support the books and all of the new merch and all of that stuff. Now, let me say this. I posted something yesterday on my Facebook and YouTube about a senior home that my mom was here. She left this morning. We went and visited some senior homes because my mom was talking about moving back here to Atlanta. And so we went to 3 different senior properties. They are sister properties, so they're under the same company. And I was really, really upset, but I've decided that I'm not going to post the company's name, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. I know y'all would have terrorized them, and I'm going to tell you why I'm not going to post it. For one, I don't want to return evil just because she was nasty to us. I don't want to return that kind of evil. And long before you guys knew me, before I started, writing books and getting a little popular on social media and stuff like that. Look at Marcia.
You're popular?
Excuse me?
So you're popular?
I said before I started getting popular on social media, and he says, "You're popular?"
Love you.
Did he just interrupt me to say that?
Sometimes you gotta learn how to catch a nigga's attention.
But no, what I decided was I didn't want to, before I knew any of you and before you guys started supporting me and being my little village and all of that stuff, Connie said, "Craig, you are popular." I didn't say famous, I said popular. Don't he have a smart mouth? He got a smart ass mouth. But I decided before I had this little village, this little community, I used to, you guys know I pray every single night on my knees. And one of the things that I used to pray, and I still pray, is that God would use me, use my voice, use my work, use my gifts to reach, teach, and heal, and to do good in the world. And so I just, even though I was really angry with her, and I did want to call and write and do all that, and I wanted y'all to tear their phone lines up and call and complain, I just decided that I didn't want to use social media as a weapon. Just like I decided many, many years ago that I wouldn't use my gift as a writer as a weapon, to use words to hurt people. And so I thought the same thing with this. So, right, I wanted to use the power for good, so to speak. Like how we helped the nonprofit in Maryland get that van. I shared this before. I don't know if some of you may have missed it. But the organization that we were working with, the Catherine Family and Youth Service place in Baltimore, when we were raising money to help pay their car insurance. Well, someone was watching the show, or the live, and she lives in Maryland and she works for a bank, and she was able to give them a grant for $10,000. She saw the live. And so I want to continue to do stuff like that. So I just decided that I wouldn't post her information because I didn't want y'all to light her up. And then also, she ended up calling my mom's friend Juliet last night, even after she was off work. She called her several times and she told her, "I really need my job." And, and I don't want to see anybody lose their job, even though I was pissed off. Even though I was pissed off. And, but I didn't even bother to call her manager today. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even bother to do that. Oh yeah, I'll tell you guys a story. Stacy said, "Well, can we hear the story though?" Yeah, I can tell y'all the story. Look, Amber said, "I had my speech ready. Hi, my older brother and our mom visited your facility yesterday, and we were alarmed at with the negativity that we were met with." But so yeah, I just decided I didn't want to do that. And I just feel like the energy that you put out, I really do believe it comes back to you. Even if it doesn't come back from the person that you hurt, even if that energy doesn't come back from me to her, that energy has to come back. And so, and when it comes back to her, she'll know why it came back to her. When you fuck somebody over and you're like, "Damn, why did this happen to me?"
Not all the time, though. Some people, the nose are just.
You don't think some people think about it?
Some people's heads are just so far up their ass.
Some people's heads are so far up their ass and they don't ever think about it. But I really think that if you're honest with yourself, you know that you fucked somebody over. And if you think about it, you know why you're going through, whatever it is that you're going through, you know. But she ended up calling my mom. Well, let me tell the story in order. So what happened was the boat party was on Sunday. And then on Monday, we had some leftovers because Chef Jack, she threw down. Do you hear me? She did like a roasted herb chicken. Well, if you want to know, you go over to the Patreon. That's extra information. So anyway, we had leftovers. So Carlton and I invited everybody over, and we put the food on the grill. And then Carlton went to the grocery store and got a few other things to add to it. But we already had some shrimp in the freezer, so we put those on skewers and threw those on the grill and all that kind of stuff. So it was really, really nice, right? And so what happened was everybody was here late, and then on Tuesday, you know, everything was back to normal. So my mom was still here. She left today, like I said earlier, and she wanted to visit like a few different senior communities that she had looked up. I had sent her some information, but then she found some as well. And so I went and picked her and Juliet up, and then we went to the first one. And so the first one I put on my Patreon. That lady was pleasant. That was not the place. I did say that in the text on the video. That was not the place. That was not the woman. So if you see that lady in the streets, leave that lady alone. But then we went to the second location, and the lady, we were met with aggression. So what happened was I had let my mother and Juliet out of the car in front of the building, right? And I had to pull around to the side to park. So I let them out, and then I went and parked. And when I came into the office, now let me just preface by saying this. When you move to these senior communities, just like when you rent an apartment, you have to make 2 times the amount of the rent per month, right? So when I walked into the office, the lady had a calculator up, and she was like, well, what's your income? Is how much? Okay, that plus, okay. Okay, oh yeah, okay. So, all right, so you qualify. Okay, so we got that straight. She was just really, really abrasive, really, really aggressive. So I didn't say anything.
Why would she even do it that way? Isn't it an application?
That's what I'm saying.
Professional.
She was not professional at all. So I didn't say anything because I came into the office and I just sat down. But when I walked in, that's what she was doing. And so then Juliet was trying to ask a question, and the lady was just, every time Juliet would ask a question, she would overtalk her. She would say, well, I just need to know if you guys are interested in the place, because, you know, we don't do show and tell here. I need people who are really interested. I didn't even tell Carlton the story because I was so heated. She said, we don't do show and tell here. I need people who are really interested in buying today. She said, so I just need to know which one of you, this is when I felt like she was involving me. I just need to know which one of you are going to run to the store and get a $19 money order so we can get this application process going. And so I said, well, wait a minute, hold on. I said, so do we get to see the place first? Can we see the place before I said, I can go and get the money order. I said, but is it possible that we can see the place? Because where I come from, why do I need to pay for an application fee before seeing the place, before I get to see the unit? Because what if I see the unit and I don't like it? I don't need to fill out an application. I don't need to pay you no application fee. And so when I was talking, she was trying to overtalk me and trying to talk louder than me. And what happened was Juliet had told me earlier, because we were going to go to another property second. But then Juliet said, no, let's go to this one first, because the lady said she hadn't had a lunch break. She was trying to get out of the office by 4:30. So she was just in a hurry. And her energy was that. And she was very abrasive. And so she said, well, no, that's not how we work. That's not how we work. She said, because I said to her, well, how do I know that we're going to like the apartment? And she said, well, I'm not concerned about you liking it. That's not what I'm, like this is how she was talking to me. And so the next thing I know, we're going back and forth. And I'm saying to her, listen, this is not how you're going to speak to us. I said, I understand that you're used to talking to people a certain kind of way. You may have people that come in here, because they also do HUD, and they do income, what's it called? When you tax credit. When you have to make a certain amount of money, you can't make over a certain amount. So they have like discounted apartments. I said, I understand you used to dealing with a certain class of people who may be desperate. I said, but she ain't desperate. She got a house that she lives in. And if all else fails, she can come live with me. So, and she was like, well, he's going to mess this up for you. This is what she said to my mother and Juliet. He's going to mess this up for you, because I don't have to take this. I don't have to listen to him. Like, she was just, so, you know, I got on my black horse, and I was just like, first of all, let me explain something to you. I said, what I don't appreciate is Black people like you.
who think they can mishandle black people like us. I said, that doesn't work for me. And I said, let me explain something to you. Everything happens when and as it should. So if she doesn't move here, it wasn't meant for her to move here. But you are not in a position to talk about who's going to be. She was the person who was the, and this is no shade at all, but it's like, girl, you're not in corporate. Like, you can't block anybody. You make an hourly wage. Like, you make an hourly wage. So how do you think that you're going to just talk to people and tell people? We got so loud in there. This lady grabbed the phone and said, I just need you to leave. I just need you to get out. She said, because I'm calling the police. I said, you can call anybody you want to call. I said, but I'm not leaving anyway until I say what I have to say. And so I said what I had to say. And then it was so loud that there was another employee. Nikki said that was really shady for me to say that. Yes, she was black. And I don't want to make this a thing where it's like, oh, this black woman, because I think black women have too much already on their shoulders, and we already persecute black women too much. So I don't want to make it like, oh, it was a black woman. I'm just saying it was a black person, and it frustrated me because, and I said to her, I said, if we were white, you wouldn't be talking to us like this. And she said, oh, what are you talking about? Race has nothing to do with it. I said, well, it absolutely does, because you would know who to speak to like that. I said, but you got the right one today. She said, I don't care who you are. And I didn't say anything about, I didn't say, I don't talk like that. And I don't think like that I would be like, oh, well, you know who I am. I didn't say that. But I was just like, you need to be careful who you're talking to, because you never know who's coming in this office. She said, I don't care who you are. And so she was just saying all this stuff. She said, I just need you to get out. But she kept holding the phone. I said, weren't you calling the police? You need to call the police. So at this point, another employee comes in, a black woman. She was very sweet. She was very kind. And she was looking like, what the fuck is going on in here? And so I started explaining to her what happened. At this point, Juliet, she'd have put her tail between her legs and she'd have left out of the office. So at this point, I'm telling this other lady that came in, I'm explaining to her, and she's nodding her head. And so then we walk outside. So me and the lady, we walk outside. The lady who said she was going to call the police, she follows us outside. She follows us outside. And then she's out here yelling, no, I didn't. I did not say that. Because she's trying to combat what I said. I said, wait a minute. Why are you out here? Didn't you ask me to leave your office? Why are you following me outside of the office? So I'm still explaining to the other lady. And the other lady, she was so kind. She had tears in her eyes. She said, I'm so upset for you. She said, because I'm very protective of my mother as well. She said, and my mother lives here. She said, my mom has been here for 2 years. And what she said to me was, this lady said to me, she said, I hear what you're saying, and tone is everything. And she said, and I don't want to say too much to lean to your side, because I know when I go back in here, she's going to have a lot for me to say. Now, I think the lady that I was speaking to was probably like a custodian. So I don't think she was like her boss or anything like that, but she was very antagonistic. And so anyway, the lady that I was fussing with. And so I was having this conversation with the lady. And so she and I ended up hugging. And she had tears. And she said, I'm so upset for you. She said, but you're so right. Because she heard me saying that we mishandled each other as black people. And she said, but you're right. We have so much trauma as a community. This lady had her locks in. Like she was one of them. She was one of them black women. She smelled like patchouli and stuff. And so she was like, as black people, we do have a lot of trauma. And we sometimes misdirect it and we take it out on each other. And so we had that whole conversation. We stood out there and talked for like 10 minutes. And so she gave me the information for the corporate relation. She gave me the information for the corporate office and stuff like that. And she told me the manager's name. She said, she'll be here tomorrow. And, I encourage you to call her tomorrow. And so she said all of that. But then, like I said, as the day went on, after I made my post, I calmed down, right? I came down a whole lot. And Juliet was still on this thing. But Craig, they only have 2 apartments left. Do you want your mother to have this place? They only have 2 left. Like, as if we need to go and kiss this lady's ass. And I'm like, first of all, Juliet, my mother can come live in my place if it comes down to that. I'm not kissing nobody's ass for nothing. I said, and again, if that lady is in a position to say, well, she's not moving here, then she wasn't supposed to live there. That's the space that I live in now. Everything happens when and as it should. And so the lady that I was arguing with, I guess she had time to think too. And she ended up calling Juliet that night. And she didn't apologize, but she was like, I don't understand where we went left. How did it go left? And she was like, well, I need my job. I've only been here for 6 months. And, so she started explaining and doing all this other stuff. And then the softer side of me decided today when I woke up that I wasn't going to call. Because I just believe that God can do a better job of taking care of people than you can. And so I just decided that I wasn't going to call. But I got your messages on Facebook. I got your messages in my Facebook group. I got the messages on Instagram and on YouTube. Y'all were ready to call and wear them out. But I decided I didn't want to do that. And I didn't want to terrorize another Black person. I didn't want to do that. And so I decided not to. But there may come a time that somebody white may cross me and we're going to tear their asses up. There may come a time. But no, so I just decided not to. But I appreciate you guys commenting and your messages and your DMs because, you know, I got a lot of messages from you guys. I even got text messages today from people, you know, saying, you know, I'm sorry that happened. And, you know, so anyway, that was that story. And then today was just a normal day. Derek J and I are getting ready for the Gay Like Me taping. We have a production meeting tomorrow to plot out everything. So for those of you that are interested in participating in that conversation, I posted a flyer. I haven't posted it on YouTube yet. I'll do that when I get off of here. But I posted it on Facebook, Facebook and Twitter. I'm going to post it on the other social media as well. But if you want to participate, you can email us. You know the email for Gay Like Me Conversations. And that's going to be next Tuesday. And so that's where we are. Now, here's the thing. What's today, Wednesday? Mm-hmm. Tomorrow's Thursday. I'm sure Keon and I are going to do our interview tomorrow. So what I plan to do is probably on Friday, unless Carlton and I end up having plans tomorrow, Friday night, I'm going to do those restaurant reviews the next time I go live. Okay? I'm going to do that. And then on Sunday, my plan is to have a conversation about the most recent episode of Black Love. So we do need to have that conversation as well. So I just want to kind of like bring you guys up to speed on what's been going on.
Did we finish that last night?
I finished it. You fell asleep.
No, that's not true. You started falling asleep. I was on you just ended up turning up and cuddling up under me.
I saw the whole episode.
It was still going, but you turned it off.
No, because remember when it went off?
No, you said I'm ready to go to bed. You turned over. It was still going. I said, well, "Where's the remote to turn it off?"
Yeah, but it went to the end.
It was still going, babe.
The point is, he goes to sleep on Black Love. He doesn't watch Black Love.
I watched maybe the whole thing. What are you talking about? Twice.
Well, so what happened was we did end up watching it twice because I couldn't remember where we left off the first time, so I ended up putting it back on last night, and so we ended up watching again last night. So we had watched most of it, but anyway, that was that. But it was a good conversation. I guess I could talk about it now because I mean, come Sunday, it's gonna be a new episode, and I don't want to be 2 episodes behind. But I thought it was pretty good. This one was about them trying to have children. It was about all of the couples trying to become parents, and some of them had fertility issues. And then, of course, the gay couple, they talking about, we still want her name. We are not over it. But the gay couple that was on there, they talked about adopting, and it's interesting because I'm sure they filmed that months ago. But that couple actually just posted on their social media probably about a week and a half ago. The baby that they they got their baby that they adopted. But no, I thought it was a good episode. It wasn't one of my favorite episodes, but I definitely thought it was a good episode. Talking about the challenges and just how they were there to support each other. Because I've said this so many times, you really never know the fabric of your relationship until it goes through something. Whether it's like they had fertility issues or like the loss of a family member, somebody died.
I think this episode did that. I mean, I've never seen publicly is then discuss children with certain disabilities. You've never seen that come out of like the Black community to discuss the challenges and and how they overcame it and how it dealt with the relationship. You've never seen that from a Black perspective,
right? And how it shifted the relationship.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because it definitely shifted the relationship. And so,
so the Black community behind it.
Right.
I think so.
Right. So yeah, so I definitely thought that was good. Wait a minute.
Because that moment when I was like, I thought it was a great moment when she was saying how she was training herself to be comfortable with her child being, I think, Down syndrome or autistic, one of the two. I think it's autistic.
Yeah.
And
Well,
she
yeah.
said, there were parents who wanted her to leave with her child.
Yeah, they wanted her to lead that party.
And she was about to leave. And she got in the car. She said, "No, because if I leave now, I'm gonna be forever leaving in the future."
Absolutely.
And so she took herself and her son back in the party and said, "Oh,
that was really an honest moment. That was definitely an honest moment. That was one that definitely stuck out for me. But what also stuck out for me too was the girl Keita.
He said I didn't watch it. Don't mind me, I'm just working. Hey y'all. I just gotta check your man.
But when Keita was talking about how she was bleeding when they lifted her up and she had all that blood coming out, like that was interesting. They want to know what you thought about the boat party. Somebody said that. Oh yeah, look, Mantra said Keita can be too much sometimes. Carlton was like, she won't let him get a word in because she kept talking. Rita said, I want to put my cigarette out in that lady's face.
Oh my goodness.
So what you want to say?
Nothing. I just was coming over here looking at the comments, seeing what the people were saying.
Well, I just told you what they said.
What?
We're just gonna make this a teachable moment, Greeley. Greeley said, are we gonna get this girl fired or are we gonna make this a teachable moment? We're just gonna make it a teachable moment. They said, what you think about your
the party?
Yeah.
It was amazing. I was Craig did good, yo.
Don't sound so excited. But no, he kept saying he was so excited. He kept thanking me. He was thanking me yesterday. And then
am I gonna answer the question?
Well, you acting like you ain't had that much to say.
I wasn't.
I like Keita too, though, to comment. I really like Keita, but go ahead. On Black Love. Go ahead.
But no, I was very surprised. Even though I suspected something, I didn't expect it to be to that magnitude. Because when you know your partner and you love your partner, you know their energy, and their energy was off about this whole trip to the lake, and so I just got a hunch that he wasn't telling the truth. But I didn't necessarily question it. I said, okay, so if he is surprised, I'm not gonna call him out like that. But I did do a little fishing. Like I called my grandmother, then my mother, and then we had a friend who was texting. I was just trying to see where everybody was. I said, okay, well, maybe if everyone's telling the truth, maybe it's a private dinner, for just us two. But I was like, I think there's something up. And then he was just acting funny when we got the car. And I just felt it. So, when it happened, it was still a surprise because I didn't expect all of our friends to be there. And plus I have family from California, Texas, Ohio, Virginia, like for all of them to be there, that was pretty awesome. So I was impressed with that.
And he had said, I didn't know this, but he had said before that he always, they said, let Carlton talk. He got an attitude quick. But he had always had this thing where, right. Alicia said, don't fish. You ruin your own surprise that way. That's what I told him. I said, that's what I told him later after the fact. I was like, I don't understand why people be digging. Just let somebody fucking surprise you. But anyway, I was definitely stressed out in that car, please believe. And I'll tell you that. But what I was going to say was he had always had this vision of his family on his dad's side and on his mom's side to come together and do something.
Well, that was for my 30th. Like last year, I had planned to do a big party for my 30th, which brought, my friends and all my family to one place. But then when COVID happened, I was like, well, that damn sure isn't going to happen. So the fact that it did, like, Craig said, I don't even think he really knew that. But
I didn't know that. So, like, his thought was for his 30th birthday, he wanted his family from both sides to come together. But then COVID happened. But I never knew that. It just so happened, when I booked the boat, when I reserved the boat, I contacted his mom and was like, hey, this is what I'm doing. I had to make sure the boat was going to be available first. So once I did that, I called his mom and was like, okay, this is what's happening on this date, this time. I need to get in touch with his dad. I need to get in touch, just certain people. And so, and then that's what happened. And then, but I'm gonna tell you, it was definitely hard because for his actual birthday, he was in New York still. And so I sent flowers to New York, but you guys know, those of you that are on my Patreon, you know what he did for my birthday. And so I was like, oh, if I just send him some flowers, which I knew I had this boat thing planned, but I was like, I can hear him now talking about, that's all I'm getting is some flowers.
I never said that.
You never said it, but I just, So anyway, and it was just hard kind of holding it for like 3.5 weeks. And then also just talking to him and trying to arrange stuff, trying to get ready for this Gay Like Me conversation with Derek J. Like I just had a lot on my plate. And my mom was coming down here for the party, and it was just a lot to manage. And then I had been working with Chef Jack, and his favorite desserts are tiramisu and tres leche. And so I had already worked that out with Chef Jack, that a part of the menu was going to be those two desserts. Well, his mama decided that she wanted to get 2 cakes, which they were really good. One was a banana pudding cake, and the other one was a key lime pie. I didn't taste the key lime pie. It was a key lime cake. So I ended up getting back with Chef Jack and saying, okay, cut the dessert out, because we don't need tres leche, tiramisu, and 2 different cakes. And then his mother did these strawberry, chocolate covered strawberries. So that was just too much. So, it just started to be a lot. And then I have a hotel discount, from when we were doing the Queen Supreme Court, we were taking the show on the road. We have somebody that gets us hotels. And so I offered that to his family that was coming in town. But then I had to be there to check them in. And so that was a lot. And, it was just starting to overwhelm me. And, but it all worked out. Alicia said, I need the banana pudding cake information. Email me or something. Yeah, if you email me, I can get it to you. Or I'll post it over in the Patreon. I'll post it in the Patreon, Alicia. That way, I'll just do it like that. So anyway, so it was really, that banana pudding cake was really, really good.
You get it every year?
They get it. That was his favorite. But his mom threw in the key lime cake because they had never tried that. And so they wanted to try that. But that banana pudding cake that shit was amazing.
She ships too.
She ships?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and she's black?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
Her name is Vonda Wright.
I might need to get me a little piece of that, a little commission off of that. No, I'm just playing. But no, I'll post the information over the Patreon. I'll get it from his mom. But yeah, so it turned out really, really nice. Chef Jack did an incredible job. The boat ride was really nice. And I saw you all messaging me about, even though you all didn't even know that we were going to Lake Lanier, but people kept sending me information about Lake Lanier, and it was haunted and this, that, and the third. And I was just like, oh my God, if they don't get off. So clearly we went to Lake Lanier and had a good time and came back and nobody died. Amen. So we had a good time. So that was that. And so I have some stuff coming up for you guys that I think you guys are going to enjoy on Patreon. We're going to do the Shoot the Hooch. I told y'all about that. We're going to get on them kayaks and stuff and go down the Chattahoochee and put that on.
Kayaks.
Well, they have they have inner tubes and they have something else. They have inner tubes and it's something else. They text me today what they had. Lenard texted me the stuff yesterday. Yes, we lived to tell the tale. We sure did. You know what?
Someone just there was an accident this same weekend.
Really?
Mm-hmm. 2 guys, I guess, attempted to swim from one side of the lake to the other.
Yeah, see, that's dumb. You see, we got our asses on the boat and we stayed on the boat and that was it. That was all we did. Is Carlton taller?
Taller? Oh yes, I'm taller than you.
Slightly. Yeah, slightly.
Bigger feet than I'm taller.
Yeah, you definitely got bigger feet. You got bigger bunions too. I ain't got no bunions.
That's nothing to do with the conversation. Exactly. Carry on.
What's Chef Jack's website for the seasonings?
That's big food.
Oh yeah. I'm glad you remember because I was just about to get your phone. It's Deck 3 Foods. So it's DECKTHREEFOODS.com. Deck3foods.com. And it's so funny because I just sent her a message, I think today. One of you DM'd me on Instagram. It was like, oh my God, sent me a picture and everything. It was like, oh my God, these seasonings by Chef Jack are amazing. And she said her favorite one, I think she said her favorite one is the dusted. That's my favorite one too. I use the dusted and I use the scattered the most. In fact, I used it today. I did some Brussels sprouts. I sauteed some red onions and I diced the Brussels sprouts. And I sauteed it with those seasonings. Okay, so they're asking, what are you doing with these flowers? I kind of told them already in the beginning, but
they're for an installation for a book signing.
So
being very crafty and incorporating books into the actual design. Into the book sign.
Right. Yeah, Chef Jack and I are going to come back and do a live. She took her granddaughter to home to Detroit, so she'll be gone for a few days. So but yeah, we're definitely going to get together and cook again. Maybe if you email her, whoever that was that just asking for her website, maybe ask her for that little promo code. Maybe she'll give it to you. Tell her you watching the live tonight, and she might send you a little promo code. But yeah, so he has a book signing. Somebody's hired them to do a book signing, so he's doing flowers for
yes.
Oh, what else you doing?
There's a stage.
Oh, there's a stage and all that other stuff. So when I get back on the road and I start doing my book signings and conversations and stuff too, we're gonna see how he worked for me.
And what's your budget?
I don't have no budget. I'll buy the flowers.
Guess you have to pay another one.
See, I can't. Oh, okay. Somebody said CTW03 is on her website. Thank you, Christine. So there's your promo code. I think it's still active too. I don't think she took it down.
And if you want to see the results of the event, follow Carlton Lee Studios on Instagram.
His Instagram is Carlton Lee Studios on Instagram. Oh, look at Greeley talking about charge him. Talking about charge him. Yes, labor is free. Labor is free. I can buy the flowers at wholesale. And
how are you gonna buy the flowers? You don't have an account.
Well, you gonna go buy them, but I'm gonna pay for them. Now listen, this whole garage that we're in, I helped him organize, and we had just started dating. It took us hours to do it, and I didn't ask him to pay me for it. Now all of a sudden. That makes no sense.
Says the person who watched me work today.
Says the person that watched you work today.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you do today? What'd you do?
Process these flowers.
So what was I supposed to do with that? I'm not a florist. I don't have a green thumb.
You don't have to have a green thumb. You just say, oh, babe, what do you need help with?
I was busy. I was on a production call with Derek J. and Chet because we got our thing
right there where you were sitting there and watching.
Oh, you mean when I was sitting here watching?
Sat and watched me for
I was keeping you company.
Oh, that's what you were doing?
Yeah. I'm keeping you company. That's a good man, Savannah. Oh, Craig, I made the roasted garlic and olive oil delicious. I'm telling you, it's really good. I learned that little trick from Chef Jack, too. It's really good. Copper's in the house. He probably standing right on the other side of that door waiting for us to come in. Oh, you know what? Remember when Derek J and I, yes, please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Derek J and I were talking last week, and he tried to say that I never sent the money to the lady, Dr. Hadia Green, who does the cancer research. It's so interesting because the day after that, she emailed me. Her assistant emailed me and said, "Hey, we would love to come back on the live. She really enjoyed you, and they're trying to do another fundraiser for something else." So I need to email her back. I just remembered because remember we had all this stuff going. We had family in town, so I'm gonna email her when I get off with you guys because I definitely would like to bring her back. Yes, the Queens Supreme Court is going back on the road. I talked to Madison about it the other day. I really personally would like for it to go on the road in the fall. I think I may have mentioned this on my Patreon because, you know, like when it's starting to get cool again and people put their little coats on and the little scarves and stuff, and then we'll be further out of this COVID thing. So I think I would like to do it. So I'm going to talk to her about it, like start setting like some dates and stuff like that. What's up, Kay? Hey, girl. Hey, I saw what you did with your mom for her birthday. Took her to Vegas. That was really nice. That was very, very nice.
See? So I'm doing this little design here, if you can really see. The, no. Well, yeah, there's that.
Right.
But the idea is I'm hanging these on the wall.
So it's a book signing.
But theoretically, what's going to happen is if you look at it as like this part being a vase, you know, then you can fill it with flowers. And so it's a cool little nifty trick to use a book.
What do you think this is? HGTV? This is not HGTV. You do all that over there at Carlton Lee Studios.
For all those who are crafty.
Y'all hear him barking now?
It feels like it's fireworks or something.
Yeah, it sounds like some firework or some backfire on the car or something. I wanted to go for a bike ride today, but what's up, His Addiction over in Brooklyn? Brooklyn in the house. Oh, that was a bucket list. That's good. So that was the first time going to Vegas. Oh, that's crazy. But yeah, so do we have any shows we need to catch up on? Oh, we did watch Pose yesterday.
I'm gonna watch Handmaid's Tale.
What, the first season?
No, the new episode.
Oh. I started watching the first season. We did watch Pose last night, the one from Sunday. It was interesting. We had a difference in opinion because I was just under the impression that the show this season is about the 90s, like what was happening in New York in the ball scene in the 90s. And we're talking about Do Not Tell Pose. Girl, that show came on 3 days ago. You should have been watching 4, really. I agree, Tanny Joe. She said the new episode needed something extra. See, I feel like, oh, you talking about Handmaid's Tale. I don't know what you talking about. But see, for me, I thought it was supposed to be chronicling what happened in the ball scene in the 90s in New York. And I just feel like it was just too phantasmal, if you will, that they got married in the 90s. And I don't know. And you know what else? I talked to Jasmine today. Jasmine is a friend of mine. She was at my stage play. She's trans. And remember the scene where, what's his name? The one that's marrying Angel? Poppy. The scene where Poppy said, you guys are all gay and you taught me how to be a man. I was saying to Carlton, I said, that was really interesting how they did that. I like that. I said, I don't think his character identifies as gay because he's marrying the trans woman. And I've known guys who are into trans women, but they're not into guys and they don't identify as gay. And Carlton said, well, I don't think that's what they were trying to say. And so I had a conversation with a female trans friend of mine today. And she was like, yeah, because she dated a guy that was exactly like that, the one I told you about. He said to me years ago, Craig, I think you're attractive. He said, but I would never date you because you look like a guy. He said, I'm only attracted to, he said, I understand what she has in her pants, but I'm attracted to her, the physicality. She looks like a woman. But this past episode, it was just okay to me. Pray Tell's scene was really good, like all of the scenes that he was in. But the wedding to me was just a little bit over the top. Would they really have gotten married at the plaza? And that was just a little too far-fetched for me. So anyway, Exactly, Aaron. That's what I was saying. He's not gay if he's only attracted to any kind of woman. That's what I was saying to Carlton. He's like, I don't agree. I
also I didn't hear the whole thing. I was saying I didn't think that's what they were communicating. I kind of missed part of what he said.
They talking about, you know how he tell everything. Well, listen, Pose came on Sunday. It's Wednesday. Y'all should have seen it by now. She's telling me I'm about to DM you spoilers from The Handmaid's Tale if you don't stop talking. That doesn't bother me because I'm still gonna watch the show. Like that. Like I will ask me. Now Carlton won't tell me stuff. Like I'm like, what's happening next? He's like, just watch it. Just watch it. And I'm like, I'm still gonna watch it. Just tell me. But yeah. All right. Well, listen, I'm about to get off of here. Keon and I will go live tomorrow. We're gonna do this interview tomorrow. Ooh. And I will see you guys then. All right.
You going over to Keon tomorrow?
Yeah, he want to do it in person. So all right. So listen, you guys have an amazing night. Brush your teeth, floss your teeth, brush your tongue. Thank you for all 500 of you watching tonight live. You guys have an amazing night. I hope you had an amazing holiday weekend. And I hope you stayed safe. Yeah, we got to go. He about to drill. All right. So listen, thank you for watching and supporting. I appreciate you. Hit the like and hit the subscribe. Bye.